The fluorescent hum of the Seoul National University Library was a familiar drone now, a backdrop to my constant inner monologue. Min-jun's quiet understanding after my project blunder had eased some of my panic, but it had also ignited a new, more dangerous one. Hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, what I felt wasn't entirely one-sided. But hope for someone like me was a luxury. Back home in Chennai, where the air hung heavy with the scent of jasmine and filter coffee, love itself was a delicate subject. Boy and girl love was a hushed, arranged affair, often spoken of only in whispers and tradition. Boy and boy love, that wasn't just unspoken, it was unthought. It didn't exist in our societal script. It was a blank page, or worse, a page ripped out entirely. I'd grown up in a world where my crush on the cricket captain in school, or the quiet ache I felt watching two male characters share a glance in a pirated foreign movie, were emotions to be buried deep, confined, suffocated. You internalize the silence, the lack of representation, the pervasive feeling that such a connection was simply ... wrong. Chennai was home, a vibrant, loving home, but it was also a tightly woven tapestry of expectations, where every thread seemed to spell out a conventional future. My initial plan after school was the predictable path: UK or USA, a Western university. It's far from the suffocating expectations, where I could, maybe, just maybe, breathe a little freer. But then COVID-19 hit, locking us all indoors, and K-dramas became my escape. Itaewon Class, Strong Woman Do Bong Soon, Vincenzo. They were windows into a world that felt both fantastical and oddly liberating. The fashion, the food, the intense emotional connections, and yes, sometimes, the subtle glances between male characters that my hopeful queer heart latched onto. It sparked something. It's a realization that maybe, just maybe, I didn't need to flee to the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Perhaps a change of place, even to a culturally different but still Eastern environment, could widen my thoughts. Korea, with its blend of tradition and modernity, its unspoken rules, but also its subtle expressions of affection in dramas, felt like a compelling, complicated middle ground. It wasn't about escaping to a completely different ideology, but about exploring a new perspective within a similar cultural framework, hoping that the shift in location would indeed make my thoughts go wider. That thought, the yearning for wider thoughts, was now being tested by Min-jun. After the project revision, our interactions shifted. He'd started staying back in the library a little longer, subtly sharing his snacks or offering a casual arvancy. "Did you understand that lecture?" His politeness was still impeccable, but there was a new warmth in his eyes, a gentle curiosity that made my heart race. One rainy afternoon, we were the last ones in the study room. The rhythmic drumming of rain against the window pane filled the silence between us. He was packing his bag, and I was fiddling with my phone, trying to conjure up the courage to say something, anything, beyond academic pleasantries. "This is it, Arvind. This is your K-drama moment." Except in K-dramas, the top usually makes the first move. And also, you're the top. Maybe panic. Complete system overload. He turned, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Are you heading back now, Arvind?" My throat felt dry. Yeah. Just ... Finishing up. I swallowed hard, the words tumbling out before my brain could censor them. Min-jun-SSI ... I really like spending time with you, not just for the project. I really like you. Rain outside seemed to stop. The silence in the room stretched, taut and agonizing. Min-jun's eyes, usually so calm, widened almost imperceptibly. He didn't smile. He didn't frown. His expression was utterly unreadable. A perfect Korean poker face. My heart hammered against my ribs, a trapped bird desperate to escape. The raw, terrifying honesty of my confession, so utterly alien to everything I'd been taught, suddenly felt like a colossal mistake. This wasn't a K-drama. This was real life. In a country where such expressions between men were so far from the norm, what had I done? Error? Protocol violation? Directness rating? Extreme? Retreat. Without another word, without waiting for a reply, I snatched my bag, mumbled a frantic Gamsahamnida, gotta go, and ran. I fled the library, sprinted through the rain-slicked campus, not caring about the drenched hair or the odd looks from other students. I just needed to be away from the unspoken rules, away from the terrifying vulnerability, away from Min-jun's silent reaction. The next day, and for the entire week that followed, I kept my distance. I arrived late to lectures, left early, avoided the library, and made excuses for not being available for group discussions. I saw Min-jun in the hallways at a distance. His gaze occasionally found mine lingering for a second longer than usual, a new, complex emotion in his eyes that I couldn't decipher. Was it confusion, disappointment, or something else entirely? I couldn't tell, and that was the terrifying part, because even though I had run, even though my confession had crashed and burned, the image of his eyes, the silent way he'd looked at me, kept replaying in my mind. Min-jun was a man of unspoken thoughts, and I, a man of unspoken desires. And now, my biggest fear was that I had broken the most fundamental unspoken rule of all, and there was no K-drama script to tell me what happens next. He hadn't said anything, but he hadn't rejected me outright either. And that uncertainty, that lingering what if, was almost more agonizing than a clear no.